Good morning and welcome to I Am High Vibe, integrating the I Am presence into our 3D reality in practical ways to get to freedom in spirituality and cash flow. So today I'd like to talk about the chakra system and how that relates to the job slavery system of control. So, so we all know that the control structure is keeping us working, and it's a form of slavery that keeps you on the same level and gives you just enough perks and just enough treats and just enough money at the end of the day to keep you just comfortable enough not to revolt and overthrow the whole thing. So how does that relate to our chakra system? Well, if you don't know the chakra system, there's 7 main energy centers in our body, going from the root all the way to the crown. The crown is at the top, the root is at the base of our spine. And the root chakra at the base of our spine, the color is red, and it deals with survival. And then as the energy moves up into our sacral chakra, that's the creative chakra, then up to the yellow chakra of the solar plexus, which is self-worth and will. And then beyond that is the heart chakra, the love chakra, and then the throat chakra, speaking your truth, and then the third eye chakra, which is your divine connection, and then the crown chakra, which is the one that connects us through to the divine. So the upper chakras are where you gain enlightenment, right? And the lower chakra is basically how our being is tied into this reality and tied into this earth, right? So we have the lower chakras and the upper chakras, and then the heart that connects them both. Well, in the job slavery system, they keep you walking a line of survival. And so if we ever get to the point where we start gaining a little bit of wiggle room, and we don't have to spend our entire existence working hard just to survive, we start to get creative ideas and start to really think for ourselves and start to break out of the control system. So what do? They kind of turn up either the inflation or the some of the rules and the taxation that kind of keep us tamped down and keep us working our lives away and keep us fighting for survival. And any of the creativity that we produce is going to be under their corporate system. So many of you know that if you're in research and development for a certain corporation, those ideas that come in are owned by the corporation. So you come up with the ideas with your creative process, and the corporation owns that because you are an employee of that corporation. So any of the small wiggle room of creativity that comes into us from the divine presence and through our creative sacral chakras and integrates into our being, and then it comes into an idea and we practically produce it in this real world, that process is now owned by the money people that are employing you. So to keep everybody on the level and working hard to survive is a tactic, because if we are constantly stuck in our mode of survival, then we can't expand our consciousness up the chakra system to gain enlightenment, right? So if we all gained enlightenment, then the entire system would crumble. And so the practical application of these concepts is going to be, you have to break out of the job slavery system monetarily in order to have the freedom to then let the energy work up into your chakra system and up past the enlightenment chakras, so that you gain true divine connection and you are not under the umbrella of the I want to say evil corporations, but even if you are working for a great corporation and you love it, the structure itself was developed as a way to tamp down the population and keep us stuck. So, to gain spiritual enlightenment, you need to clear out your chakras and clear out the trauma-based, like childhood traumas and things like that, and let the energy flow up and down and gain your connection with God, right? So in the same practical 3D job sense, you need to break out of the job slavery system, start creating your, using your own creativity to produce a cash flow, abundance flow that flows in and keeps you sustained financially so that you can have your basic needs met. So once you get food and shelter taken care of, then you can start doing the creative things that you want to do and start partnering with that divine presence within yourself, and any of the ideas that flow in you can then practically put to use, and you create with the I Am presence. Meaning, if God wants something to happen in the world, then the ideas filter down into the population, and then the people act on those ideas and then bring those ideas into the 3D reality, right? But as workers and employees, we very rarely have the chance to work on what we are divinely inspired to work on. We work on what we're told to work on, and we have a little bit of wiggle room about how to use our creativity to bring about the things that our bosses want us to do, but we don't have the freedom to work on what we want to do within ourselves, what God has planned for us. We kind of do what our bosses have planned for us. So we are giving over our freedom and our autonomy and our partnership with God. We're giving that over to a partnership with a man-made power structure. Does that make any sense? So it's vitally important that we find out how to break that glass ceiling of employment to abundant cash flow that comes in residually, that then frees you from the tamped down umbrella control structure that keeps you stuck doing what they want you to do instead of what you're divinely inspired to do. Okay, so that's a long-winded way to say you have to break out of the job slavery system in order to be free and do and follow your divinely guided creative path. And if you don't know what that path is, it's because we've been working and working and working, and we don't have 2 minutes to really meditate on and connect with our inner God presence and figure out what you and God are supposed to accomplish together, instead of running and doing what the man-made power structure wants you to do. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, first of all, it's the first step is to kind of separate into that observer mode and start picking up on the little tells that you are completely controlled in your little bubble. And once you start seeing the power structure of control, and you might even try to elbow your way out a little bit and see how quickly the structure tamps you back in, and you try to pop your head up out of the umbrella and they squash you back down, and start seeing all the little control structures. So first, kind of separate into observer mode, start noticing these control structures, start noticing that maybe start meditating a little bit and try to decide what you actually want out of life, what you want to create in this life. And I guarantee it's not working another 30 to 40 years and socking away all your extra cash flow into a 401k matching system. I mean, that's got to be the most boring, dumb thing I've ever heard of my life. Nobody likes that. They just do it because they think they have to survive. And that is being stuck in your root chakra. And you need to expand and break out of that in order to have a divinely inspired life instead of just a practical, I'm going to trudge through the trenches for 40 years and maybe have enough to, eat crackers at the end of my working life. It's designed to siphon your creative, God source energy from the best years of your life and give it to the people that are that designed the control structure around you. So, okay, how do we get there? I've put together a program called Get to Freedom, and you can find it at get2freedom.com. That's get2freedom.com, and it'll walk you through the system that I've come up with that will free you financially as you build tiny micro residual income cash flow machines, and they stack on top of each other and eventually will free you from this job slavery system. And in that program, I have a link to the course my wife and I put together that gives you spiritual freedom, so you can work on freeing your traumas and your shadow work and everything else that we talk about in the spiritual community, that will open up your chakras, get your divine connection to God back, find out what you're divinely here and divinely inspired to create, and then you use the cash flow strategies to free yourself from your job slavery, and then you can truly start creating and bringing what God wants you to bring into the world instead of what your boss wants you to bring into the world. Okay, hey, this has been a great chat. I'm going to try to leave the link in the description, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.